Ooh, hang on. Don't worry, this isn't going to be another one of those silent plastering videos. I just haven't really woken up yet. Right. Now I just have to remember how plastering works. Oops. Okay. It seems this is turning into a silent plastering video. I've definitely woken up. I don't really know what to say because we've done so many plastering videos. The good news is I have pretty much remembered how to do it, even though it's been... I don't even know when the last time we did plastering was. This is the second of 4 coats. Kylie did all the base coat stuff in here, which is a mix of lime and lots of hemp for insulation purposes, mold reducing, humidity regulation, and the fact that you can apply it quite thick because these walls are quite irregular. This coat has got some hemp and some sand. Actually, there was a bit of sand in the first coat. This is half and half hemp to sand. And then there will be 2 thin top coats, which are just lime and fine sand. And hopefully they go on tomorrow. If I think of anything else interesting to say, I'll let you know. But for now, I'm just going to get on with it. Right, I've got maybe 3 scoops left on the board. I've got this much left to do and about 5% battery. So let's see. So the bad news is I ran out of battery before I could finish this wall, but the good news is I did just about have enough plaster, which is excellent. And so now I can move on to the final step for today, which is floating everything off, making it nice and smooth, blending in some of the high spots and the low spots, and then this will be ready for top coat tomorrow. Well, there we go. That is the float coat done, and the floating done as well. Oh, a bit out of breath. But that is enough for this morning. I'm gonna go have some lunch and then find something else to do this afternoon. Right, this afternoon's activities are going to be slightly different to the morning. We're going antique shopping. Oh, there it is. We have reached our destination. Hopefully I can bring you with us. If not, I'll just use my phone.
So when I say antique shopping, what I really mean is we're shopping for some old traditional furniture, specifically something that we can turn into a bathroom cabinet that we can put a sink on top and conceal all the plumbing inside. Kylie found a listing for this huge Aladdin's cave type place in Abrantes, about 50 kilometers south of where we live in Cirta, and it was amazing. They had a huge selection of really interesting pieces, but unfortunately we didn't find anything suitable for our needs. But we'll almost certainly be back in future when we get around to the decorating and interior design stage, whenever that might be.
Right, it's day 2 on the plastering. Everything is looking good. I've had a bit of a tidy up just to remove some of the dry bits that can kind of get stuck into the mix and cause marks and stuff like that. Got a nice creamy top coat. Just need to get it on the walls, float it off twice. You've seen it all before, so let's just stick it on a time lapse, eh? Right, that was quite exhausting. I have no idea what the time is, but I am starving, so it must be lunchtime or shortly after lunchtime. But this is all done. We'll let this dry, and at some point in the future it'll get a coat of lime wash, maybe with some pigment, maybe just white as usual. I'm going to go clean up and have something to eat and work out if there is anything that I have the energy to do this afternoon. Right, we are back in the bathroom again today, which was not really my plan for this video, but plans always seem to change around here. We were hoping to get some other stuff done, but the weather has not been kind to us. We have done a couple of things, but they weren't really film worthy. The room next door to me, we've cleared out so that we can then start all the same kinds of things that we've done in here next door. Window liners, first fix electrics, underfloor heating, limecrete floor, all of that kind of stuff. We did also go and try some more antique stores to find the vanity unit, but they were so small we could barely fit in there. They were really dark and we were being watched, so I didn't really want to do too much filming. So unfortunately we haven't got a lot of footage of that. We did also go and do something else which involves some rather nice pieces of wood, but I think we will save that as a nice surprise for a future episode. And so then when I started thinking about this video and what it was going to include and how we were going to finish it, I realized that we didn't really have much of a video. So it is Friday today. Normally the video would already be done and scheduled to go out at 9 AM on a Saturday morning, as we do every week, whether it is a renovation video, a gardening video, cooking video, something else. But yeah, I'm probably going to do a bit more plastering today, edit this tonight, so that you can enjoy it at your leisure. But hopefully you found it interesting nonetheless, even though it's a little bit different to the way we normally do things. Anyway, these things happen, but the show must go on, and I must get some plaster on the walls. I actually think the biggest problem with this episode is that it's just been me working by myself, and so there's not really been a lot of banter. I think almost zero innuendo, which is very rare. And so it's really just felt like a week of work rather than a week of having a laugh. But that's okay. Just means we get to do that next week instead, and we'll get to appreciate it more. I was even thinking about trying to turn this into like a plastering tips video or something like that. But then I realised the only tip I can give you is get someone else to do it. And that's probably not that useful if you're in a situation where you're looking for plastering tips. I actually quite enjoy the plastering. It's quite labour intensive, quite slow, uses a lot of material, but it is quite relaxing to some degree, but it is also very satisfying because it's the thing that really starts to make it look like a room. It's like the beginning of the finish.
So whilst I was finishing off this wall, I was trying to think of a slightly more useful plastering tip than get someone else to do it. And the thing that came to mind was trust the process. And the good news is this is generally sound advice, whatever you might be doing, not just plastering. And the reason this came to mind is because I wasn't very pleased with my efforts today. I was struggling to get the mix consistency right. It started off too dry and then I made it too wet. The plaster wasn't going on smoothly. It all felt a bit messy. I was pretty tired and my shoulder was starting to hurt. But it's okay, because this is what happens every time I do this coat. It doesn't look great, it's not perfect or super smooth, but that's okay, because it's not the finish, it's not the top coat. There's a process, there's a series of coats, and this isn't the end of it, and so it's okay if it's not perfect. And to be honest, it's only ever when I'm applying the final top coat that I'm ever even remotely pleased with how it all looks. So even though I wasn't having a good day, I just have to trust the process. And it's always good to remind yourself of that.
Right, there we go. Another wall and another coat is done. I've put up the cardboard just to stop some of the sun coming through so it doesn't dry out too quickly. And depending on how things go, I might come and spray it down a little bit later on just to make sure that there's no cracks or anything like that. That was quite an exhausting morning, although I think it's about 3 p.m, so more than a morning. But that wall is done. I'll come back tomorrow and do the 2 top coats, which will take approximately about the same amount of time. And hopefully we end up with something that looks quite nice at the end of it, because the way it looks at the moment does not fill me with joy, but that's okay because it's not finished yet. There is more to come. That is all part of the process. And the process now is that I wrap this up and go and edit this video so that you can enjoy it at your leisure over the weekend or whenever it is you happen to be watching it. Thank you for joining us. See you in the next video. Bye for now. It always feels so incomplete when there's no one else here to say bye. Oh well, maybe next time.